when I was 8. Got a really old go-kart owned by like 5 or 6 different families. It was from the back of the newspaper. My dad bought this car, rebuilt it, and we had to enter our first race, and my dad didn't know what number to use, and on the number plate of his car it had F44. That's the number we raced with for many years. And then when I joined Formula One, I had to be whatever the team asked me to be. And then further into my career, they then decided to allow the drivers to choose their one number, and that would be their number forever. And I went back to where it all started. It's the number that my family recognized most. It's the number that's been loyal to me and to my fans.
I'm carrying number 5 because I had a very, very successful year back in 2001, and I had number 5 on my go-kart and won a lot of races. Later on I learned about Nigel Mansell, the red 5. So the 5 just kept popping up here and there everywhere.
It means a lot to me. You know, there's a lot of history with number 18 and winning the Formula 3 championship, winning the Formula 4 championship. I'm a little bit superstitious, not very superstitious, but little things like that are important to me. I've just stuck with it ever since, and I don't want to change.
I used to admire a football player. His name is Ivan Zamorano, and he had the number 11. So when I was at karting, I said, well, I also want to have the number 11. And since then, I've always used the 11. So still, my email is with number 11. So
the first number I used in the karting, it was 11, but 11 Sergio is using. So I just increased one above number, and I used 22.
It all started at my very first go-kart race. We couldn't choose numbers at the time. It was just whatever number they pulled out of a hat, that was ours, and it was number 3. And at the time, our house number was number 3. So it was like, oh, this is awesome, cool. I was following NASCAR, and Dale Earnhardt was number 3. He was known to have, you know, the black car with the bold 3 on it. And then when we could choose our number in Formula One back in 2014, that was obviously my first choice, and I got it. And then I was like, all right, so pretty proud to be number 3, actually.
Well, my favorite number is 3. I used to always stick a number 3 on everything I was driving or riding. But of course, when I got to Formula 1, Daniel already had number 3. So I was like, well, let's add another 3 and hopefully it adds double luck. And I think it looks quite nice.
I wanted number 7, but it was taken. I wanted number 10, but it was taken. I finally ended up with number 16 because 1 + 6 = 7, and I am born the 16th of October. So yeah, not a very interesting story.
11 and 31 were like my 2 numbers I had in Formula Renault, Formula 3, Formula 4. I think they were already taken by the time I even got to Formula 1. 4 was the best one in the end, mainly because it fit very nicely into my logo.
Carlos Sainz. One S is 5, the other S is another 5, so it's a 55. My favorite number is number 5. Sebastian Vettel had the 5, so I had to change, then I came out with this word game of my name and the 5s.
It was just, you know, we had to pick up a number and just pick up that. I mean, there was a chance that I take 6 because I won the championship with it, but I knew that Rosberg won it because his father won the championship with it, and so I just keep what I had, and that's fine for me. So.
My first victory in the Italian Championship in 2006, the only numbers was left was 13, 17 and 99. Of course, 13 and 17, they are not a lucky number in Italy, and I took 99, and actually the funny thing is that I was the last on the entry list, you know, because the 99 was the highest one. My mom, I still remember that they told me that, you know, the last will be the first one. This is what in Italy we say. So this is the perfect number, I think, for to share the Formula 1 championship.
in 2007, that year, when I won the championship, I had the number 31. It still is my most successful year to date. That's why I go 31 for the rest of my career.
I've normally raced under 99 because of the year I was born, and it happened to be quite lucky with the amount of races that I won in the early days. However, the 99 was taken, and I was able to take a number 9.
I raced with that number in 2013 when I became Formula Renault European champion. I was a big fan, I'm still a big fan of Zinedine Zidane, was number 10 for the national French team. So that's the second reason why I choose this number.
It's the first time I will use this number, and it's quite simple actually. It's, if you calculate all the numbers of our birthdays together, it equals 47, and some of the fans actually said that you could also read it for Michael, so 47, which is also a very nice thought and kind of is true.
6 represents Toronto. I just take pride in representing my my home city where I grew up, and that's why I chose it.
63 was my brother's number. He started karting just at a local indoor kart centre, and he always had number 63, so that's been the family number ever since.
I actually initially thought I would choose 7, but then I decided actually 77 could be nice. I just like the number. I'm not really superstitious or anything. Initially there was a bit of a plan that I could ride Valtteri and Bottas. Instead of the T's you could use the 7s for some designs, but I never really used it anyway, so.
When I was 14 years old, the 14th of July, and with the go-kart number 14, I was world champion. From that moment, I had no doubts, 14 is my number.